You're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Sandy, your host, and we are officially 11 days away till the end of 2024, everybody. How are you doing? How are those goals coming along? And if you've been listening to this podcast, there is no way on planet Earth that you're not finishing strong this year. You must be a lot closer than you've ever been in making some of those goals a reality. Today, as promised, we're talking about systemizing or automating your sales funnels. And so that's going to look a little bit differently for everyone depending on what type of business you have. For the purposes of this podcast episode, I'm focusing more on e-commerce because almost everyone has a product or a service that they're marketing online. You know, most of us have websites. So we're focusing on that podcast episode to kind of simplify things. That you should really ask yourself what you're trying to achieve by automating. One thing I will tell you is that automation or systemizing your sales funnels will, number one, increase efficiency, and it will also improve consistency, and you want that. And once you do those two things, once you automate and you systemize, those two things will drive growth. And growth means revenues, which is always a good thing. There are some key questions, though, that you should be asking yourself before driving into automation. So, what is the goal? Are you trying to generate more leads? Are you trying to close more deals? Are you trying to nurture relationships, with maybe customers that haven't purchased in a while, or kind of those lurkers? They go to your site and never purchased anything from you, not yet. Who's your ideal customer? Remember the buyer personas we talked about like a gazillion years ago. Revisit that, because really knowing your audience is the basis for almost everything. You could have the best systems in place, but if you're trying to target the wrong people and you're marketing to the wrong people, it's not going to work. That's why it's very important to know who your audience is. So revisit your notes on those podcast episodes. And also you can go onto my website. If you go to the landing page, dothisfirst.live, scroll all the way to the bottom to the footer, and you're going to see a hyperlink for audience. And you can just go ahead and revisit some of those podcast episodes. And then what are the steps right now for your current sales process? So identify those core stages of your sales funnel, like lead generation, nurturing, qualification, closing. This type of clarity will help you automate each stage. Another thing you should ask, where are you losing leads or potential sales? Where are they going? Where in the process are they dropping off? That's really important. Pinpoint bottlenecks or inefficiencies in your current sales process. Delayed responses, missed follow-ups, lack of engagement, all these things can be solved. Also ask yourself, can automation enhance your customer's journey, their experience? Think about that. Automation shouldn't just be about saving time, but also about improving the experience. Consider personalization and responsiveness, then tweaking and refining your sales automation. Once you set up your automation and once you've answered those questions, which are foundational, you can continuously monitor its performance and you can make adjustments. It's not a one and done. I keep trying to impress everyone about that because none of these things are one and done, and they don't happen overnight. You have to be consistent and you have to keep at it. It's kind of like, being a carpenter, right? A carpenter keeps chipping away at the wood, chipping away until he makes, a beautiful piece of furniture. So it's the same thing. I hate to tell you this. If you haven't gotten this impression yet, you will now. There are no shortcuts. It takes hard work. It really, really does. But the difference is that you can work smartly. That's the difference. And all of these topics, in terms of, and all these topics that I've covered, having to do with marketing, with branding, and that type of thing, is to give you the intel so that you can action on these things and see what will work for you. Maybe a combination of all these things will work for you. Maybe some things will work better than others. But it's a consistent effort. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep at it in order to see results. Tweaking and refining your sales automation is definitely key. You have to review your analytics and feedback. You have to look at your conversion rates. Again, Google Analytics is your best friend. If you don't have it on your website, it's free, it's easy to do. You need to optimize your content and messaging. Try different calls to action, try to see what is resonating with your audience and what doesn't. Just keep trying. We call that A/B testing. Keep trying to see what it is that will prompt a response or the action that you're looking for. And then refine segmentation. A lot of people don't do this, and they just send these emails out to everyone on their email list. The thing is that some of the people in your email list don't want XYZ. They're looking for something else. And so you have to hone in on what it is that the different segments of your audience are wanting. And then you have to send them very targeted email. Another thing that you can do that will help you substantially while you're automating your sales funnel is to update your workflow. Ensure that your workflow is aligned with what your latest products and services and offerings are. And let me just kind of simplify this, because workflow might be a little confusing to some, but it really, all it is a set of steps or tasks that are followed in a specific order to complete a job or a process. So the tasks and steps that you take that need to be completed, the order in which they have to be completed, and the intended outcome once you do complete those steps. That's all a workflow is. Then if you are an e-commerce business, you should look at your cart abandonment statistics. That will give you some information as well. You should have a CRM set up, customer relationship management database, and they can be expensive, so you can use Zoho, which is free. You should always have a CRM if you have customers, and even before you make your first sale, so that you can keep track of your customers and keep sending them great content and information. That way you keep them engaged. And then email marketing and automation. We talked about MailChimp yesterday, rapid response. These are all ways that you can automate email campaigns and keep people engaged with what you have to offer. And the chat bots that I lightly mentioned, that is a great way to answer frequently asked questions on your website. You can program it so that it can answer very basic questions about your product and services. If part of your business is like meeting with people, then you can definitely have a tool like Calendly or Acuity scheduling that will take care of scheduling meetings with people. And you can actually put that in your website or just provide a link to it. People can set up a meeting with you. For sales engagement and outreach, you can use Apollo or Lemlist. These tools help automate cold outreach via email or LinkedIn, allowing you to schedule messages and track your responses. And then if you're actually trying to generate leads, you can do that through lead feeders, through UpViral. A lot of it depends on the business that you're in. The typical sales funnel is the top of the funnel would be your creating awareness and lead generation. The middle of the funnel is nurturing and engagement, which is more of a marketing thing where you're sending out emails and you're keeping your audience engaged. The bottom of the funnel is conversion and closing. These are people that are buying your services, they're buying your products, they've been converted, but you want to continue the engagement, and that happens in the post-sales area. And we'll talk about that. That's mostly customer success, and we'll talk about that because you have to keep them engaged. Just because they bought from you once or signed up for a newsletter once doesn't mean that they are engaged and that they always will. Some of the things that you should avoid is over automation. People still need a human touch, and so you have to be careful with overly automating things. If you're going to automate, which I totally suggest for everyone to do, no matter what business you're in, you can find areas where you can automate the sales funnel. Make it personalized though, make it personalized. Don't go with whatever the form suggests, put in your own personality and flavor to the messages that you're sending out and to the marketing pieces, because that's what makes a difference. People want to feel that, people want to know that you care. That's really important, and you should care, because if you can add value with your products and services, then you need to make sure that you're making that point when you're sending marketing pieces out. Another mistake that people make is that they ignore data. Without data, you're just shooting in the wind. You really need to know who your audience is, and really the only way you can do that is by looking at the data. And you'll have some of that data by seeing who engages with you, who's made purchases before, and things like that. And by looking at the different audiences of your direct competitors. That'll give you a lot of insight into who your audience is. There's a lot of data there. The benefits of sales automation is, again, increased efficiency, consistency, scalability, improved conversion rates. It'll make you a lean, mean machine. Anyone can do this. You can do it in terms of lead captures. You can do this in terms of reaching out to potential audiences. You can reach out to people that are already part of your audience. And as discussed, there are a lot of different ways that you can automate the sales funnel, whether it's top, middle, or bottom. All these things, Google Analytics, chatbots, the ability to schedule meetings, the outreaches, the marketing pieces for awareness, the lead gen aspects, the form captures, email marketing lists. All these things will help you streamline your processes so that you have more time creating more product and services and doing the things that you really, really enjoy. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode and all of my podcast episodes on my blog. And that website is dothisfirst.life. And while you're there, you can sign up for one of my weekly newsletters. You can also listen to all of my podcast episodes there. And you can also sign up for my YouTube channel. And my handle there is @DoThisFirst. Tomorrow we're going to talk more about audience data. So there are a couple things out there that if you're struggling and trying to really hone in on your audience, these tools will absolutely help you. So if that's an area where you're still kind of trying to feel things out, tomorrow's episode is for you. Till tomorrow.
Moving past the rain, moving past the pain, or past the color blue. I see power in you. Past will you down. Look around, they can't be found. I see a champion in you. I see a champion in you.